And we're back here on the GSMC Baseball Podcast, bringing you our third segment, which is going to be talking about Mason Miller and his incredible season so far for the Oakland Athletics. Now, I've talked about Miller a little bit on the show before. I did do a full segment on the A's a few weeks ago when they were really doing well and really just surprising a lot of people. So, I did want to go into a deeper dive of Mason Miller, and while I was on break for those 2 weeks, while I was not here, he really has exploded, and really the entire baseball world has taken notice. So I figured it was a right time to do a full segment on him and do a little bit of a deep, not really a deep dive, quote unquote, but just talking about him and just talking about how good he is. So first of all, I wanted to go over the stats for Mason Miller and just how incredible he's been. So first of all, his K per 9 is 17.61. So just to put that in perspective, if he was a starting pitcher and he went 9 innings, he would strike out 17 people per game. That's a lot. His walks per 9 isn't even that bad, 2.35, which is fine. K to walk ratio is 7.5. K percentage is 53.6. So again, if he was a starting pitcher, no, sorry, not the right analogy. He's striking out over half the people he faces. He's striking out 54% of the people he faces. That's incredible. That is insane and honestly just incredible. An ERA minus of 52, a FIP minus of -2, and a FIP of negative 0.01. He has a negative FIP. That's incredible. A negative FIP is not something that happens every year. That is something that is truly just remarkable and is something that we should be taking in consideration and taking into account as baseball fans and sitting back and saying, wow. His ERA is 1.96. He has 1.5 WAR. Just incredible season so far. I mean, absolutely stunning and incredible. He's won 23rd inning. He's gone 23 innings so far. Has 10 saves. Has not blown a single one. And yes, there's not many options to save games when you're on the Oakland A's, but when there has been, he's done it, and he's done a really good job of it. So props to him, and really good job there. So Mason Miller is just incredible. I mean, this guy is having one of the greatest relief seasons of all time, maybe even the greatest. He's drawing comparisons right now to what I would say is 2022 Edwin Diaz, how incredible he was then. Obviously, Diaz has it's been a low bad since coming back. That might be another segment in the future as well if that does continue. That was something else that, as a Mets fan, see the jersey behind me, was something that did break my heart and how bad he's been. But that's a different talk for a different day. But yeah, I mean, Mason Miller has just been incredible so far. His fastball is outstanding, throws 102 consistently. And this is a guy that last year was looked at as a starting pitcher prospect, not much of a closer. Became a closer because of some injury concerns the A's had with him, and it's looking like that might be the best career path because, wow, I mean, right now he's clearly the best closer in baseball. Yes, a little early. You have other great arms, of course, like Diaz, who has sucked this year, frankly put. Hader, who's been horrible. He was horrible, at least. I guess he's done a little better now, but still overall in the season compared to Mason Miller, it's nothing. Felix Bautista, yes, a good player, but he's out for the season. So Mason Miller right now clearly is the best closer in baseball, and it's just been absolutely incredible. The pure stuff he has is insane and just blows my mind. I don't know how this guy throws this stuff. It's just incredible what he does. So, yeah, if I'm an A's fan, I'm feeling very, very excited about him and very, very happy. I mean, it's been a while since you've been an A's fan, that you've had something this exciting to cheer on. And he's been part of the reason why they haven't been the worst team in baseball. Have they been bad? Sure. They're 22-33. They're 11 games under 500. Yes. But the thing about this is when you're 11 games under 500 for the A's, that's like being 500 for any other team because the A's are that bad. I mean, a certain publication, who I do not remember actually, had the A's as an over-under of being the worst MLB team ever. And at the time, people were like, yeah, seems about right. I was one of those people. The roster they've constructed is awful. They're not a good team. Their organization is a mess. But somehow you have Mason Miller going through all that, doing great, and propelling them to be not absolutely horrible. 11 games under 500 is bad, but it's not historic bad. So if I'm an A's fan, I'm very excited about Mason Miller right now. Very excited to watch him and just see the season more now. But yeah, he's been an absolute treat to watch. And, there has been some rumors about him being in trades. Now, when you're on the A's and you're a good player, no matter what year it is, you're going to be in trade rumors, even if you're good. Because, simply put, the A's don't have money to keep players. And yes, Mason Miller is in the start of his... Sorry about that. Is in the start of his career and isn't going to be expensive until a few years later, probably. But the thing about the A's is now they're really bad this year. People are thinking, okay, could you capitalize off this season and trade him? Now, it does make some sense, I will say. You have Mason Miller, you have how good he's done, and you have his trade value being at an all-time high. You're not just trading for Mason Miller, the baseball player now. You're trading for Mason Miller, the guy who is extremely marketable. I mean, if he was on the Yankees, if he was on the Mets, the Dodgers, one of these big market teams, the Cubs, they'd have shirts printed all around for him, the fire-throwing closer, Mason Miller, the 100-mile-an-hour man, all these kind of things that are marketed to him because he is so marketable. Doesn't seem to be really anything off the field with him at all. He's just this young rookie, not really a rookie, but young player who's come in, done a really great job for the A's, and just come out of nowhere being this amazing closer. So there's a lot of marketability with him as well, and I think it does make sense to trade him. Now, of course, he is a great player, but the fact is he only throws an inning. He throws an inning a game. You probably can't throw him 2 or 3 times in a row because you're going to blow out his arm. So closers' value are going to just be naturally limited because they only throw an inning. They come out of the bullpen. They're not a starting pitcher. So it does make some sense for the A's to trade him. Now, you look on the other side of this. Also, just going back to what I was saying before about being potentially the good sides of trading him, you're trading him at his highest value when people know who he is. You get a top prospect for him. I know it was talked about how if a potential if let's say the Padres wanted to trade for him, who could be a potential fit because they need a closer, they would ask for top prospect Jackson Merrill. Now, of course, that's not happening. No team is giving that up, but that's the type of ask the A's can say we want because he is so early in his career. There's no other incentive for them to trade him. So the A's have the A's do have some leverage here in trade talks. So that is something you could say for the A's or you're an A's fan. But also, you're moving to Sacramento next year. You're going to be there for 2 to 3 years. You're then going to Vegas. Mason Miller's under contract for that entire time. You want to give the fans something to watch. As much as Brent Rooker's cool, first of all, who knows how long Brent Rooker's going to be on the team. He's not the guy to watch. Mason Miller is a guy that sells tickets. People will come to A's games. People will go to Sacramento. People will buy tickets to have the chance to see Mason Miller. As a Mets fan and as a guy who lives in Queens, 15 minutes away from Citi Field, I'll tell you, in 2022, if I thought Edwin Diaz had a chance of coming in the game, I was buying a ticket because I wanted to see the Trumpets. That's something that does sell tickets. That is something that is a positive. You got to give the fans something to see. You want to sell tickets. You didn't sell many tickets in Oakland because of a lot of reasons. Don't have that be a thing in Sacramento. Be able to sell tickets. So that's a possibility to keep him because you want to market him. You want to give the fans something to see. He sells tickets. And overall, do I think the A's should trade him? I don't think the A's should trade him, but I also don't think they should not trade him. I think you should be listening to offers on any player as well. But don't trade him just because. Trade him if you get an insane offer. If the Padres offer Jackson Merrill tomorrow, I'm taking that deal in 2 minutes. But I'm not trading him for something. I'm not trading him just to trade him. I'm trading him to get something insane and incredible. If someone offers an outstanding package, you trade him. If someone offers a good package, I'm not trading him. Something you offer a fair level package, you're not going to trade him because the A's have no reason to. But it is something that you could look to shop in because, again, his value is limited because of the position he plays and because the situation the A's are in, being in a deep rebuild, you could. But it's a very interesting scenario altogether, I will say, and something that I am going to be watching very heavily. I think that it is something that is really, really interesting so far, and it's just going to be something very interesting to watch for overall baseball for just this year. So yeah. That was our segment 3 here, talking about Mason Miller and his season for the Oakland Athletics. We'll be going over our 4th segment here, which is going to be talking about the NL standings and an overview of that. Let me just move that into the... Ooh, okay. Not working apparently. So, yeah, we'll be going over the fourth segment here, talking about a little bit of an NL standings overview. I want to do that, and for the final segment as well, the fifth and final segment as well, just going over a little bit of a standings overview. As I have been gone, they have changed a little bit. So yeah, we'll go over the NL first, and we'll see you after the break. So thanks, and bye.